Something really cool that I found today that I think is pretty exciting. So I actually use this tool called Lucidchart to create all my flowcharts for websites. This helps me understand websites a little bit better. To see a visual part of it. You can add links. You can even collaborate. It's a great tool. What I discovered though was ChatGPT actually has, or Lucid has actually created their own ChatGPT app or custom GPT. It's pretty awesome. You can actually tell to do something and create a flowchart. Of course, there are limitations, but one of the coolest things about it, though, of course, is that can make a flowchart from your instructions, but you have to be very, very specific. So I ran into a couple tests. One thing I did, of course, was make a screenshot of my legend. I want to use these blocks specifically if it can. Then I wanted to see if it could crawl all the pages that I could find that were relevant, that were actually 202s and weren't actually real pages, not just 404s or random whatever. So from that list of pages, I then created a couple tests. Now, the first couple tests, it did not actually create the whole website. It just created like the very basic, like the home page, the contact services. It's getting there, but it didn't do the whole list. There's about 107 pages I found altogether. So from that, I kept iterating, but what I did instead was I knew that it was going to take a little bit more reasoning and logical thought. So instead of running it through Lucid, because Lucid only goes by instruction, it's going to do exactly as you say. It's not going to be very accurate. So what I did was I created a different kind of prompt. It took me a little bit of time, not too long. It just was a quick test I did. So all I did was I just quickly copied those URLs from please first analyze this list of URLs and the content of each page. So I would get all the pages that are relevant to us, the posts, the services, any important pages, and then I said, using the list of URLs provided, organize the web pages into a structure that makes the most sense. Make sure to keep in mind the content of each web page and how they are relevant to each other. Use SEO best practices when organizing. Feel free to suggest pillar pages be created where needed. Present the new structure using the file format of your choosing. Then I will be using the custom Lucid GPT to create a flowchart of the website. If you are able to make it easier for this custom GPT to understand how to create a flowchart from your data, that would be most helpful. Thank you. And we'll get to apparently, yeah, thanking them and being polite to AIs is helpful somehow. But anyway, I digress. So what I'm actually using here is the ChatGPT o1 preview, which actually has advanced reasoning capabilities. So it's actually going to think about my prompt a little bit better. So what it's done is it's created a structure just based on the list I've given it, just to kind of get an idea of the best structure. As you can see here, it's already added where I should add a page. Kind of common sense, but maybe it'll point out some more unique things. So yeah, waste management page, we want that as a pillar page as a service for all of these relevant waste management pages. From there, it created the whole website layout from those list of URLs. Then from there, at the very end here, let's see. So it gave some instructions of like how it broke this down and what the best practices are. Of course, I know some of these, but then it also gave tips for how to create to create the flowchart for Lucid GPT. So it gave it some instructions as well. So after that, I copied all of this back into Lucid. As you can see here, I copied everything and gave that example image. So this prompt, same kind of thing. I'll quickly run through this. So yeah, I just quickly said, this website is being completely rebuilt. For the next step, Please analyze the detailed structure below, then create a flowchart of all the URLs using the shapes provided in the uploaded image. Here is the detailed structure of the flowchart slash website. And then I just copied over, of course, that command prompt that I got from the reasoning GPT. So from there, it gave me an image and a a Lucidchart. So keep in mind, this is very rough. It's going to be kind of messy, but at least now I have an overall picture of the entire site. If I were to add in more tweaks, I could probably even add in it to actually link up each URL to each box, which would be kind of interesting. But I'll show you what that looks like here really quick. So instead of this here, where it only showed a few pages, now we're getting the entire site. And yes, it looks messy, but I double checked some of this already and it looks good. So for example, your contacts, boom, council contacts, RM, St. Clement's, upcoming events. So, and that's under the events here. You can see it's nested under there. So it seems like it's gathered all of the URLs I put into it. And this will give me a great starting point to understand the hierarchy of the website. And you can see here, it's kind of hard. Let me see if I can actually up this a little bit here for you guys. I doubt that's going to make much of a difference, or maybe. But you can see here that it actually creates this kind of flat, kind of triangle structure. And this is how websites usually should be laid out. It's just best for not even just SEO, but just for navigation purposes. And I can go into more detail in other videos. It's pretty straightforward though. It's just like, yeah, this page has to link back up to this one. Ideally, what should happen in this kind of structure, I won't nerd out too much here, but say if the home page was up here or up here somewhere, and this is the very bottom, you should be able to get back to the very front of the website without any trouble. So there should actually be a link from here back to the home page somewhere over here. So that's very important actually for navigation and for SEO structure and relevance. But anyway, I digress. So just to give you a quick video on how, yeah, that turned out. That was actually, I'm pretty excited with this actually. All right, thank you.